Aussie down. It's time for Redbud.
American Badass!
Oh, man. Makes you want to go out there and be American, doesn't it? Oh, my God. I love that. And today's the day. Someone has to upset the Aussie, is my prediction. And not an overall win, but at least a moto win.
Wrong.
Yeah, nobody will upset him.
Wrong.
Not even in a moto? You don't think someone snatches a moto?
Wow. Jason just comes right in swinging, man. Wrong.
Wow.
Wrong.
It's America's birthday weekend, man.
He just said everything
I
that
can't
comes
hear
out
anything
of
but the music bed blasting in my head really loud.
Not everything. It's
there we
independence,
go.
bro. It's all about America.
Yeah.
It's all about America. And that's why America's got to win this weekend. They got to at least snatch a moto from the young Aussie.
Jason just was like, wrong. Everything the Stretch says is wrong.
Well, Jason would be okay if Sexton beat him because it's still Honda fanboyed him.
I was actually almost late, right? I just rolled in, right?
You
I have the timing down.
I have to say, you have the timing right down to when the break starts.
So I literally...
That's scary.
I'm coming up the road, right? And I'm following this guy in a Sebring Touring, right? I was thinking this is like a perfect car for Stretch, bro. Remember, it's like a poor man's like, convertible, you know?
Yeah.
And, dude, he's like watching me through the rearview mirror the whole time.
Were you tailgating him like an a-hole?
No.
Yeah, okay.
I started to later.
Because he was going slow?
Nice.
So slow, but
Nice. So he's just out having a nice like Saturday drive.
Saturday drive.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice and warm
this
outside
is,
right now.
This is the most prompt you've ever been.
That was weird. And I brought a burrito for Mom.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, get your moto on.
It's on.
All me.
Got
Getting on today.
We got burritos today?
We got burrito.
Wow.
Burrito.
Nice.
Dad, Jason goes and gets the breakfast burritos
And on time.
on a time. Like first break. In.
Following
Who are you?
a convertible Sebring on the way.
Nice.
Going slow.
Going slow.
Up the hill.
Up the hill.
Can't go wrong with that.
And the radio ranch is up on top of a hill, by the way. It's not an easy task getting up there, so everybody knows. And if somebody is slow in front of you, it's very frustrating.
It sucks.
It is. But whatever.
Yeah.
I will say I did come in pretty hot on your driveway, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
It looks like you're building a step up over the road there.
Dude,
I am.
That thing looks
Did you
gnarly.
see that?
Yeah.
I am. I'm building
You need to
stuff.
pack that
That's a
in.
nice one.
Yeah, I'm building stuff.
That's a
think
nice little
that's-
booter right there.
Pretty big booter, but it's going to be fun.
There is a
Wow.
nice booter right there.
Yeah.
Actually, it's to block the other road.
Oh.
Wow. Surprises already today,
Yeah.
guys. Young Daxton Binnick, who is I guess he's still an amateur, but you know they'll let the amateurs race a few rounds of outdoor typically before they bring
Yep.
him in.
Yep.
Fastest qualifier on a 250 in his first ever professional race.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we've talked about Daxton a couple times.
Daxton
He's a
Bennett,
good amateur.
he's a good amateur. He actually debuted in a couple Supercross rounds as well. I don't put a lot of heat, though, on a lot of these amateurs. Even Danger Boy, where a lot of people were throwing a lot of hot sauce at him, and he is really good. I'm not arguing the fact that he's not good. But I am saying that people put a lot of hot sauce on these young amateurs when they're coming in because they're so energetic. But they
They're so
just
hyped.
they haven't hit their actual comeuppance yet. Because when you're at this level, it's a different level. So I don't really bank a lot on their qualifying. I don't bank a lot on their time trials. I want to see how they actually do in a race because that's what's going to prove it. You know.
Okay, well, guess who the fastest qualifier was on a 450? I'll give you one guess.
Jet Lawrence.
Jet Lawrence.
Yes, exactly.
Jet Lawrence, but he's also put in his lumps too.
He's also a teenager still.
And it's cool. Sexton's
Christ.
coming back, and he'll be fired up, I'm
Yeah.
sure. But, it's next round back, first round back.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
Exactly.
What do you expect of the Sexton today? Because Sexton, we know, is the only guy out there that has a chance of beating Jet. Let's be
Number
honest.
2.
I don't know. I'm putting bets right now on two other riders on the track here in the 450 division that could probably do something against Jet right now because one of them seems to be creeping up on him slowly. He's now on the box fairly regularly. That would be one Adam Cianciarillo.
Yeah.
The number 2 one I would not put anything past him on today would be one Mr. Jason Anderson.
That's the odd one to me. Like, I don't know where to put my finger on Anderson, but I'll tell you,
Trust me.
he's been at Glen Helen ripping it for like the last week, just ripping it,
Yeah.
dude. Those videos are crazy how fast he looks.
Yeah, so I'm not going to put anything past Jason Anderson. He is an animal, and if you're training at Glen Helen, that's one
solid. And he's like, I got to go to GH, bro.
Yeah,
Right.
that's one of the gnarliest tracks in the whole country to be training on. The
On
only
a
thing,
regular practice day. Like,
the only thing about Glen Helen that doesn't train you well is mud. And that's something
there's
they do
none.
get more on the East Coast than you do on the West Coast. There is no mud on the West
Redbud's got
Coast. But at the same time, today we have really good weather. You know, Redbud's notorious. It's a country club track. It's going to be topsoily. It's going to be really just loamy and good. And you know, you're not dealing with that Glen Helen gnarl rock rut beat you up. You know,
just throw you sideways.
Like you're racing on Mars. That's what it looks like out there.
Glen Helen's
on Mars.
It's pretty gnarly at Glen Helen. So I wouldn't put it past him to really put a serious beating on Jet today. Just based on he's been out for a while, he's been rested up, he's been training, and he's been training at some of the gnarliest tracks in the world.
I think you're right. I think Sexton can pull it, or Anderson, either one of those guys. That's my top three.
Okay.
Sexton was number 2 in qualifying, and typically he's always prides himself on being the fastest. First race back, he may just be, not trying to put that exclamation point on it and get fastest in qualifying.
I don't know where he's at in points these days. Where's he at in points?
Sexton?
I don't know.
Oh, he's way back.
So it's not a big deal.
No, he's way back. I think he's like 6th or 7th in points. He's really way back. He's lost a couple races and he's way back in points. Yeah, but he's still got enough qualifying points to get into the championship round. And here's the one thing I want to say about this. I think that everybody who's basically sat out in races in outdoor motocross has basically just been calculating the fact that they need enough points to get into the money round. They want the big money. Right. That's all they want.
Right. Which is why everyone's coming back after World Supercross tonight. They're all coming back now that there is no real round 2 of World Supercross. They're all going to be racing here next weekend.
So we haven't mentioned this yet, but this is also the first round of World Supercross. This is today.
They're out there right now.
And Ken Roczen, obviously, champion. He was also the number 1 qualifier in World Supercross today.
Yeah. They're already looking like they are ripping it out there.
They're already saying that it's going to be Ken's to lose, basically.
It is. Dude, how good did he look after not racing at not last weekend, but the weekend before? How good did he look at coming out and just doing a race and almost taking, giving Jet all he can handle?
I mean, resting at his age is definitely important, I mean, he has to take a couple Geritol tablets, he comes out on his Lark or his Rascal.
Oh, boy.
He gets out, puts on a support hose,
So where do you throw Sexton in on that though?
Well, Sexton's a young guy. He doesn't need handicap parking yet. Where Roczen pulls into the handicap parking, he gets out in his wheelchair and he does this little thing.
Right.
Sexton's really young. He's 23.
Things that old people do.
So he could definitely. I mean, I could see him being number 1 today because Lawrence has just been back to back, bro.
I'm sitting here throwing serious.
I know. I'm just
serious shade at Ken Roczen.
He always does. I'm trying to.
He's got his shawl around his neck.
Old people. I wonder if Ken Roczen has a rocking chair next to his trailer. Or
you know what you should do? You should call him Grandpa next time we see him. You should start screaming out, "Hey, Grandpa Roczen!"
It goes over so well.
I know. They love that.
Well. They love that.
Yeah. Suzuki has to clean his dentures.
Oh man.
Suzuki's got to clean his dentures. So resting for old people's always been good.
Yeah, they love that.
They love that.
Wow. We also don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening with Cooper Webb. We know he's hurt, but we don't know what. They haven't said. I've heard no mention of what the injury is. He's not racing today, so I don't know if he banged his head maybe in a practice crash, or if he's got a sore limb or something. But they are resting him in abundance of caution.
Once again, I'm smelling the fact that they're playing a game. Everyone's playing a game of how many races do we really need to go through just to keep some points, just to stay in the money round.
Right? Because did you see a crash?
Yeah.
There's not even video of it.
Posted, no video, no
There's
nothing.
no video of that?
No, nothing. It's just
don't they video everything?
Hey, I crashed. Hey, guys, this morning I'm going to sit on the show because I crashed.
Yeah.
I crashed.
Yeah.
That'd be every day. We have no show ever. Did you guys go riding today?
So the BFF, huh?
I took out the bicycle today. I was out doing wheelies in the front
That doesn't
yard,
count.
The bicycle.
Yeah. Were you chasing young boys or what were you doing?
No.
Okay. Yeah, don't ride bicycles. It's bad. You're a grown-ass man.
Jesus.
Wow.
Unless it's a road bike and you're getting exercise, then I'll give it to you.
I was getting exercise, Ding-a-ling.
Were you doing like jumps and stuff? Were you like, hey kids, watch me get 13 trash cans?
Yeah. I was doing my best, my best version of Jackass.
old Rad movie.
Yeah, so I was watching. Well, me and Dan Hubbard, woke up watching Rad.
Watch this. I'm Dan Hubbard.
Yeah, I was jumping trash cans. I was
Jumping trash
cans. Yeah.
Up on a bench.
Yeah, that was me.
What would happen if we got Grandpa Dan Hubbard on a bicycle now? Would he just break the frame, or what would
Actually, no. It's you'd be surprised because we were out at Paula. This is about a year ago, year and a half ago or so.
Yeah.
And I had a BMX bike out there.
He just grabbed it. I remember.
He just grabbed it.
I remember that.
And he looks at it and goes, "How much tire pressure's in this tire?"
Oh no!
And I was
He's
like,
still hardcore, huh?
I was like, "There's not enough for you." And he goes, "Damn, I will taco this rim."
Right.
I will taco this rim. So I have a feeling that he stays current. I have a feeling that he
That's
probably
good,
goes
yeah.
out and goes on the BMX track and probably does a few laps.
A couple bar spins.
Yep. Kicks ass, takes names. So
You know what's weird?
Peg
Dan is not a
grinds.
small dude. You picture those BMX dudes as little guys. Dan's not little. I'm not
He's-
saying he's a fat guy at all, but he's tall. He's a large dude.
no, he's the real size.
Yeah,
He's a real size human being.
He's man sized.
He's not child size like us.
Man, I don't know what's happening, but yeah, I can see Dan still being able to do it.
Yeah, he stays current. He goes out because there's a couple of BMX tracks down in Orange
pretty
County that he's out on quite regularly, and he knows everybody in that community, and he's still a consultant on a lot of movies and stuff like
Is
that.
Coal Canyon still around? Or whatever that
Sheep?
track is?
Talk about sheep.
No. Or,
The BMX track?
yeah. Wasn't it Coal Canyon off of 91?
I think so. Down by
Like Green River?
Green River. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
that's the mountain bike thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's
No,
still
this was a BMX track.
BMX track.
Okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
and it's paved.
Yeah, I know.
It's funny how the
Is it?
BMX tracks are like paved.
Yeah.
They make
Yeah.
them. They're not dirt. When I was
No.
a kid, they were dirt.
Right.
Yeah.
You'd go to a BMX track and it was just like a dirt bike track, but just smaller.
Yeah.
Now they're all paved.
And
they're
those
all,
roller jumps, man. Having to get used to those roller jumps.
yeah.
What are those things called?
instead of a lip,
the
they
tracks
don't
they
have
have
those
now?
They-
The pump tracks now.
Yeah, pump tracks. That's
Yeah.
it. Where they're
They
paved.
are asphalt now.
Yeah.
They're all asphalt.
Yeah.
They paved them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. I mean, how's that training you for dirt? Like
Right.
when we were kids, BMX was like all about dirt.
Chewed up.
It was chewed up and gnarly. You had to pedal through all that crap. It's like, oh.
Moto Man, do you put extra weight into the fact that Levi Kitchen has his head painted red, white, and blue today? The
No.
chef is cooking some America up.
No, I don't have
Oh, that's
extra.
worth the podium.
I don't have extra marks on him for that, but I will say this: I did see the graphics on the Kawasaki bikes, and they did an amazing job
they?
with that. Too.
Okay, I have a
They
weird
really
issue
do.
with it. I think
Okay.
they're cool. They're fully red, white, and blue
They
from
are.
the handlebars back,
All the
and
way
then
back.
then they've got a green front fender, and they've got green freaking hand protectors on the bars, and everything else is red, white, and blue on that motorcycle. You'd never know it's Kawasaki.
Adam Cianciarillo looked like Evil Knievel today.
It is pretty cool.
He looked like Evil Knievel.
Do they? You know what's weird? With Gas not really having any riders out there so much anymore. They do today. Today they'll have Pierce and they'll have the fill-in kid who is filling in for Pierce is now filling in for Michael. So they got
Yep.
two 250s, no 450. But they always had the greatest gear. That TLD stuff has always been the best, and they haven't really had that presence because they haven't had the riders out there.
Well, I'm going to say that our good friends at HRC Honda last year had the coolest looking 4th of July bike on the track. They really Americanized that Honda. And today I didn't see anything really spectacular about it.
But
Yeah,
they
maybe
were
I was
always
just
red, white,
red
and
and
blue,
blue.
though.
Maybe
Yeah.
they did something different, because you know how they have had training bikes in the past that will be a trainer at one color. Like, for instance, Jet Lawrence's bike at Supercross, they had a red and purple and white
Yeah.
250 there, for him. And it was like, wow, that was really cool. And then when he went on the track, it was just a regular red. So,
But what's weird is I remember one of the Anaheims when we were down on the track beforehand. Chase had a white Honda and then ended up racing that white Honda that night.
yes.
Yeah. One time.
Yes, one
Yeah.
time. But they definitely have multiple bikes there. I think they're allowed legally, 2 bikes? 2 bikes per rider?
We can
Yeah,
look at
they
that.
got to have that.
I got the instructions somewhere.
Yeah, I think they're allowed to have 2 bikes per rider. I think that's the rule. So, we've got let me see here.
Redbud!
Redbud coming up today at 10 a.m., which means in T-minus, we'll say 40 minutes.
Yep.
And then we also have Supercross in Britain tonight.
where they've already qualified and they're already getting ready to take the track. These may be simultaneous events. They really might be.
They seem like it according to social media.
I heard it was like 10:30 our time today.
Yeah.
Like in an hour?
Everyone's racing.
Yeah. It's
So-
going to be cool.
Let's get a red. Let's get some caffeine in us.
Exactly. So
Who do you
wins.
guys pick on
Big
that?
wins.
Let's do a World Supercross pick. I would say Kenny's you're obvious. What about 250s?
I'm gonna go Max Anstey.
Who's he's not defending champ, is he?
No, but I'm gonna pick Max Anstey for 250s over there, and then I'm gonna pick Ken Roxon, obviously numero uno, and I'm gonna go with Dino.
Oh, you're gonna put Dino up there,
I'm gonna
dude.
put Dino in there.
You know who I'm gonna put up on that behind Kenny? I'm gonna take Hill. Because Hill's no joke, and
Hill's
he was
no
having
joke.
a good Supercross season at the end. He was really coming on. Maybe he'll pick up where he left off.
Hill is no joke. Hill could take it all over there. So
Yeah.
he has the potential of doing it. But I'd like to see Dino somewhere, I'd say top 5.
Yeah, I would anticipate that as well.
Yeah.
Dino's.
So-
Hey, but hold on. You know who we're forgetting about and we are disrespecting that may be pretty damn good because he's healthy again is Colt Nichols is over there.
Colt Nichols is good, but he's inconsistent.
Well, he's been hurt a lot.
He's been very inconsistent, and that's what makes me a little concerned with his debut over there. So
Yeah.
The Webb's gone.
Webb's not racing today.
Webb's not racing today in outdoor,
Yeah.
because of his injury
Right.
that nobody saw.
Nobody saw.
But
Hey, are you besmirching
No,
my friend Cooper Webb?
I'm not besmirching anybody. But
What
what,
if
I
he
am
showed
saying,
up
It
overseas?
sounds like you're besmirching.
I'm not besmirching anybody. But what I do think is, I think there's a lot of tactile calculation going on where people go, I can sit this round out. I don't need to be in this round. It's not worth the risk. The risk is not worth the reward. As long as I can get into the money rounds, the championship rounds, that's all that's important. Everything else I can pretty much just kind of, I'll do this race, I won't do that race. I'll do this race, I won't do that race. Yeah. It's the same thing that Ken Roxon did last week. Okay? Ken Roxon only came to race just to keep the points current.
Yeah, we
That's all he did.
We knew that because
So.
there was it's not for the money because they don't really
No.
pay that well in outdoor season, and he didn't need it because he has a huge deal with the World Supercross. He needed those points to get into the World Supercross.
Actually, I've heard rumors that they pay horribly in outdoor motocross.
They do.
So, what did Max Anstey get one year? I think it was like $5,000 or something.
He said he went.
For the season or
No.
what?
He
For the
went
whole
five.
season?
He went 5-5 and got $1,500.
5.5 and got 1,500.
And he goes, and it was like a hell of a day. It was a day with a really brutal track, and they were out there taking a beating for 30-minute motos,
Yeah.
and the guy got $1,500. So, dude, wait, like
Yeah.
that.
Plus, he had to
$12.50 a
pay
moto?
for parking.
Yeah.
Or
Pay for
$7.50
entry
a moto?
fee.
Fit for entry fee.
He's got to put the gas in there.
Yeah.
You got $750 a race.
Probably started with some new tires.
Yeah. He I'd say after taxes and everything else, he got $350.
Oh, not even.
Not
By the
even.
time he paid it, got it. Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Taxes and everything else, he got.
He was
Man,
in
Your
the hole.
hotel, you had to fly
He was
there.
in the hole.
He was in the hole.
He was in the hole.
He was in the hole.
He went out there for fun.
He owed $200.
Yeah.
So when
And
it was
that-
all
and that's reality.
That's reality. When it was all said and done, he owed
Little
$200.
motocross world.
Bastards.
You know what I'm hearing pushback on that people are questioning why they've put Justin Cooper back on the bike like so
Now,
soon.
I'm actually kind of glad to see Cooper back out on the bike.
So am I because he's a good challenge to
Yeah,
Hunter.
I thought that was a good call.
He's
So,
back. He's back.
Let's
That was a gnarly
back.
crash though.
let's jump into 30 Seconds from Mars, and we will be back right after this.
Riding GH.
Big 49.